Hello. So I have another idea for what a new Celestial hero could look like. So let's begin. Okay, so this right here is Poisontoad. So Poisontoad is a nature character. He's not actually like a toxic element character, and basically he's like sort of like the special humanoid frog thingamajig. In like that hides him in like he hides himself in nature, and he basically has poison darts and like frog abilities like his tongue and stuff, and he can basically shoot people from afar with the poison dart and stuff. And he has like he has like poisonous touch because he's like yellow and stuff. So yeah, a pretty simple premise. So let's just go over some of it as attacks. So I feel like poison toad or poison frog or whatever, he would probably have multiple types of darts. So he'd have darts that have different effects. Maybe he could give some like debuffs. Maybe he could like make someone pass out. Maybe he would even have darts that kill people. So lethal darts maybe. All kinds of different effects you could think of, so maybe you could have some suggestions yourself. And then I also feel like he would maybe have like the attacks kind of like a human-sized frog, so maybe like a large tongue that he can whip people with, and maybe like wrap them around in, and he could maybe pull them back to him or something. He would probably also like hide a lot in bushes, and maybe even like in a jungle he would just hide everywhere very well. Maybe he could also mimic sounds of other people and like animals. He could also like jump in trees and stuff, and maybe cling on walls. He could Five Nights at Freddy's style jump up to you. And like maybe jump scare you or something. And maybe he would have a second weapon or something. On top of his dart thingy, I don't know what you want to call that, because if he screws up, he's gonna maybe need something, like a different weapon than darts, but maybe the weapon could just be his skin, because you have like those special poisonous frogs with like different colors that when you touch them you get poisoned, and this guy is like yellow with purple spots all over him, so maybe that could be like a cool thing where his weapon is literally just his skin. And I'm thinking for his attacks, I think that's most of it, because it's pretty basic, pretty simple for a premise. Yeah, I don't know what other attacks I could give him. Maybe something with flowers or something. He would also, if he would appear in Celestials in the show, because that's he would have a bit more of like how do you say it? Less attacks, more story, in the sense that this guy could like maybe roam around in a jungle or something on missions and like hide very efficiently. Maybe he could even like do secret missions where he like tries to poison like a villain or something to kill him. Maybe he could like sneak in poison his drink or something, so to say. Oh yeah, real quick, go to the link in the description to support me on Patreon. Thanks, man. Then for his backstory, I actually don't really have much of a backstory for him, because the thing is, if I want to talk about backstory, then that's usually something to do with like a tragic backstory or something special that happens. But you have to remember that most basic heroes, or just most heroes in general, don't have too much of a tragic backstory, but do have some events happen to them. But like for the simpler characters, they just kind of have a mostly normal life, if you think about it, and then they join the hero force as their main like purpose. But of course you can imagine some events would happen, but that's a bit much thinking work for every like character. So this guy doesn't have much of a story. He was probably just one of like the species in Celestials that was born just like a humanoid frog or a toad or whatever, or maybe he comes from one of the nature element planets. And yeah, he just naturally has his powers, and he has his darts and a lot of knowledge about poisonous materials and flowers. So you can see there's a very clear theme going on here with the poisonous flowers and stuff. So yeah, he probably wouldn't have much of like a complicated backstory. He's just like, well, yeah, just a humanoid frog that joined the hero force and learned to use his powers and his darts. So then for his design, maybe I will put the actual full drawing on screen right now so you can see it a bit better in the time lapse or whatever. Design is pretty simple as well. It actually looks it didn't turn out completely the way I imagined in my head, but it still gets most of the elements kind of correct, but just different than I imagined. So you can see I kind of went with like this nature assassin type of theme almost. So you can tell he's kind of like hidden in this giant barrel first of all that's like made of wood. And I just drew this very simply, but maybe the barrel will be like more complicated and made of like multiple pieces, because I don't think you would be able to move around much in one big piece of wood, because he can't even bend his back then. So maybe it would be like multiple pieces or whatever, but I thought that I would just draw it really simply. Then you can see his head kind of sticks out of the barrel and it's like hidden in the darkness underneath his like flowers on his head. And you can see he has these really cool like glowing purple pinkish eyes with like this like liquid and like scars running across it. And then on top of his head he has like these leaves with like these giant poisonous flowers. And I'm pretty sure those flowers that I drew actually exist in real life, but I didn't know the name, so I couldn't find a picture of it. But that inspired me for the design to use these, because I thought they looked really cool with like the pink and like the almost poisonous looking purple, or like magenta or whatever you want to call it. So I put these giant like flowers on top of his head. And yeah, I think the colors actually look really nice. I really like how the colors blend in. So then hanging out of the barrel, he has this little flower necklace. And then you can see there's like where his hand is, that you see like a little hole through the barrel, so he can shoot through there. Now maybe it's a bit too low on the barrel, because you'll see like it doesn't really line up with his mouth, but this is just a concept. This is just concept art, so that doesn't really matter much, I guess. And then next to the little blowhole, he also has these two little red dots. Now you're probably wondering what that is. That's just some painted, how do you say it? Some painted decoration on the barrel to make it a bit more interesting. That would probably just be like the two like red rosy cheeks just painted on the barrel, and you would kind of see like the paint dripping down a little bit, but his hand is in front of the thing, so you can see it. Then in his hand he's holding his dart shooter. I'm not sure what you want to call that. And if you look closely, if you can see it on screen at least, you'll see that where his pinky finger goes, there's actually like a flower on the dart shooter as like a little cutesy piece of decoration. And now that I'm thinking about it, I think the darts would kind of have like a cool flower inspired design as well. Maybe they would be like metal, like silver darts with like flowers at the end or something, and they would kind of have like needles in front. So that's pretty cool. Then you can see his arms are like wrapped around in this like material that's actually like fake leaves, or maybe even real leaves. So you know, in like Call of Duty or like those FPS games with like the soldiers, you have like those suits with like fake leaves that they can blend in with. Well, this guy kind of has that, but like on his arms, maybe all the way to like his back, and he can, as you can see, can still use his arms normally. But now if he like kind of conceals his arms together like a Minecraft villager, he pretty much stays hidden in bushes. And I feel like he would also be able to like kind of close his glowing eyes to not be as visible. And now that I think about it, maybe he could have like a cool chameleon ability where he can change colors or something to blend in even more with the environment. So he can easily shoot people and stuff. And then you can also see he has his frog tootsies sticking out of the barrel at the bottom with a yellow color, so like really poisonous and stuff, and like these magenta spots everywhere. You can see it on his hand as well. And I'm not sure if there's anything else on his design I can mention. Oh yeah, for the wood I kind of used these birch colors, sort of, a little bit. And yeah, overall I'm really happy with how he looks. It's a pretty simple character, which came out as really good timing because I needed to make a simple character since I've been a bit more stressed out right now. So I didn't want to do anything too complicated. And yeah, I just really like looking at it. It's a very pretty design, I think, with the magenta and stuff and the pink. So yeah. Okay, I hope you enjoyed the video as much as I did, and see you in the next one. Bye!